banks are struggling with weakening liquidity as measured by the Bank of Ghana's liquidity indicators. Core liquid assets to total assets has deteriorated from 26% after recapitalization to 23.9%, whilst core liquid assets to short-term liabilities has deteriorated from 34% after recapitalization to 30.6%. These are very worrying signs, especially given the level of panic withdrawals in the financial sector. What this means is that for every CD short-term liabilities such as customer deposits, the banks have cash or liquidity to cover only 30 pesos. This is clearly worrying. What it means is that for every CD that depositors have put in our banks today, they have liquidity to cover only 30 pesos. What it means is that if there's the slightest panic withdrawals again, the banks will be wiped out. The banking sector has been able to lend only 2.7 billion to businesses and households since January to June 2019. This means an average of 450 million loans a month. No wonder businesses are struggling to raise funds to expand their operations and create employment for the teeming unemployed youth. Meanwhile, the government has continued its desperate attempts to steal our NIB and ADB through the back door using the dubious Ghana Amalgamated Trust. Government announced that GATT was a private initiative by private pension fund managers to provide equity to the 5 remaining uncapitalized banks. The question we ask is, why will government give its money to GATT to come and buy government's own bank? You give your own money to somebody to come and buy your own bank and sell it to somebody by private placement. This is stealing. We call on government to halt all activities related to its funding of GATT, as this is illegal and not approved by Parliament. Parliament only knows a guarantee issued for it and not government funds being funded through this entity. Bank of Ghana must stop the discriminatory and predatory regulatory practices. How can they collapse banks that were stronger than the non-compliant banks and allow the non-compliant banks to still hold onto their licenses? You collapse banks that were stronger than the 5, and the 5 are still alive. The collapse of the 23 savings and loans companies was a travesty of justice. These savings and loans companies were strong by the end of 2016 and have suffered from acute panic withdrawals and systemic impact of the banking sector mess created by Bank of Ghana. It was the improper handling of the interconnectedness of these banks to the rest of the financial systems that have resulted in a meltdown of the financial sector.